From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Haley Monaco. Lawmakers are trying to solve a major problem created by a mismanagement of COVID relief funding. A state program funding certain Montanans to live in hotels is out of money. Q2's Jackie Coffin tells us what's being done to make sure thousands don't wind up back on the street with nowhere to go.
The hearing for House Bill 523 was short and sweet, but the problem it's attached to is huge.
We want to make sure the impact is positive on our communities rather than negative.
Housing advocates estimate 1,600 people living in motels in Billings are facing homelessness due to the expiration of MIRA funds.
But what after? When all the funding stops, are they going to be just dropped back into the community without housing?
The Montana Department of Commerce says it's paid over $117 million to more than 13,000 Montana households since it received the money from the federal government during the pandemic.
The community members who are involved a lot in housing are on one hand very grateful for MIRA funding, have to acknowledge that it has helped a lot of people find housing for them. The other hand, there's been a lot of concern and questions like where, in a very strict way, where is money going? Are we being accountable for that money? Are we being proactive?
House Bill 523, carried by Representative Mike Yakowicz of Billings, would require the Department of Commerce to provide a list of the businesses, property management companies, and landlords who received those funds. It would also identify any recipient that's faced legal action from the Department of Commerce for misusing the funds.
And so that's another conversation we're having with the Department of Commerce is, this whole idea of accountability for the money.
Yakowicz says this bill stems from a problem Billings housing counselors are seeing where motels collected funds for housing tenants in 3-month increments. The tenants left or were evicted, at times just a few weeks into their 3-month stay, and the rest of the money was not returned to the Department of Commerce.
We want to be careful that they don't get the funding and then maybe halfway through the month, the person for whatever reason leaves or is removed. And then the question is that money returned or just questioning again the transparency of that money.
HB 523 passed its first legislative hurdles with bipartisan support, a grassroots effort from Billings housing advocates to the Montana legislature trying to track down a paper trail for more than $100 million.
Also happening at the state capitol, senators endorse a bill that would allow landowners to shoot grizzly bears if the animal is removed from the endangered species list. The legislation says if a grizzly is threatening livestock, ranchers can kill the animals, but must contact FWP when they do. Opponents say the word threatening in the bill is too vague and believe the state should put more emphasis on non-lethal management.
Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully the week is kicking off on the right foot for you. A look at our local forecast here in just a bit. But first, let's take a look at those 48s. First of all, highs predicted today, getting up to about 35 in Bismarck. We'll go 37 in Minneapolis. Heartland of Kansas City up to about 62 today. We'll tag team with St. Louis at 62. Boston up to 33 today. Atlanta 74. Flip side over there on the west coast, Los Angeles with a good bit of rain, getting up to about 54 today. We'll go 44 in Portland. All right, so we do have these little blasts of energy coming through. Could kick up some snow showers over the course of the next few days. Not looking at any extreme temperatures in the forecast, but could we see that change as we head into March? Let you know coming up.
Law enforcement officers from all over the state gathered in Kalispell yesterday to root on Trooper Lewis Johnson as he continues his recovery. The scene at the hospital, Trooper Johnson and his wife thanking everyone for their ongoing support. The Highway Patrol trooper was hit by a criminal in a pickup during a pursuit earlier this month. His injuries are serious, but doctors say he's an amazing fighter, making incredible progress.
He has recovered so phenomenally that I think within the next several days we will be looking for an opportunity to try to help transition him to that next level of care where the focus will be on that long-term support and long-term function.
The man accused of injuring Trooper Johnson is facing 3 felony charges, including attempted deliberate homicide. Billings police officers say 30-year-old Kiata Thurman may have been a victim of human trafficking. Just after 2 a.m. on Saturday, she dialed 911, saying she was locked in the back of a man's car. Police found her almost 12 hours later. According to a department press release, 52-year-old Leif Ness is a person of interest. He's under investigation for links to human trafficking. Currently, Ness's involvement remains unclear, and police have not said where Thurman was found. The family of 19-year-old Jalen Williams held his funeral Saturday after he was found dead in Livingston earlier this month. Williams was found dead in a field near Highway 89 in Livingston on February 10th. The Park County coroner determined his death to be hypothermia and found no signs of foul play. However, his family believes that this is not the case. The Livingston Assistant Police Chief said on Friday the investigation is still ongoing. Police requested confirmation from the coroner's office that their initial findings are accurate. The family is claiming that detectives are avoiding talking to them about the case and are still looking for more answers. Williams was laid to rest this weekend in Chicago. In health headlines today, the Food and Drug Administration has approved an at-home test that can check for both COVID-19 and influenza. The test is 99% accurate at detecting a negative result for influenza A and 90% accurate for a positive result. Flu season is just about over, but the U.S. has seen more than 235,000 new COVID cases this week. A rare brain condition has been linked to a Pfizer vaccine for RSV. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, 2 adults in their 60s who were among the 20,000 vaccine recipients in Pfizer's Phase 3 clinical trial were diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome. The disorder causes the body's immune system to attack its nerves. Currently, there are no vaccines approved for immunization against RSV in either children or adults. Up next, Miller is in with another check of today's weather. An increasing number of guns are getting confiscated at airports. We have details on that. Stay with us.
The MTN Noon News continues right after this.